once again, good afternoon, and welcome to the 26th annual Marion State of the City Luncheon. We want to thank you so much for taking your time to be with us today. We're here today thanks to the Linn County League of Women Voters, a trusted, nonpartisan political organization. This year is the League's centennial birthday. Please join me in wishing this organization a happy 100th birthday. The League of Women Voters members promote citizen engagement to safeguard democracy. And while the League of Women Voters never endorses a candidate, the organization is directly involved in shaping the important issues of policies that keep our communities, state, and nation strong. The League welcomes all eligible voters, both men and women, to join. Please join me in thanking the League of Women Voters volunteers who've been behind the scenes and those you see here today for making this luncheon possible. Now let's meet and hear from Mr. Andy Streit. Andy is the store director for Marion Hy-Vee.
Well, thank you very much. As you heard, I'm one of your 500 helpful smiles at the Hy-Vee here in Marion, and so proud to be that. And I wanted to talk today about some things I love about Marion, and first I've got to say that Hy-Vee is amazing. All right, I'm not here to talk about that. Can't help it, 32 years. So I live, work, play, volunteer, and raise a family here in our great city of Marion. And we chose 5 years ago to do that when we chose to move back to this community. And I think about all the wonderful things in this community. 2 amazing school districts. You heard I'm a veteran, the largest Legion post in the state of Iowa. Think about Art in the Alley. Think about the uptown revitalization that's happening in our community. I think about Marion as a town that's got one foot, in my perspective, deeply rooted in the past, with making sure that we still feel like a small, close-knit community that'll do anything for each other. And that's one thing that I love about Marion. I also see us as a community with one foot leaping to the future. And that's a hard balance, but I think we do it really, really well in Marion. Think of all the amazing things that are happening right now and have happened in the last several years, and the things that are going to happen in the next several. We're big enough as a community to have everything that we need, have all the resources. We're small enough that we have the agility and ability to do what we need to do to make our community even better and make changes as we need to. So not too long ago, Hy-Vee decided they wanted to spend the better part of $1 million to refresh the outside of our store. And in a meeting I had with the Hy-Vee construction folks, they said, we would not have been able to do it this year if it weren't for the city of Marion. Think about that. They said, we work in 8 states, we take care of 300 and 300 plus Hy-Vee facilities, and we have never had a community work so well with us, so rapidly with us, give us the approvals we need, and be so anxious. And they said, Andy, how lucky are you? And seriously, that's what they said. And I said, how lucky am I? I mean, it's amazing. And that's what we get every single day in our community. I think it starts with the leadership. Leadership in the community. I think of our mayor. I think of our city council. I think of our chamber, who's amazing. I think of Medco, water department, parks department, city works department. Our roads were clear to get here, right? Awesome. Fire department, police department, and probably however many other departments that I'm not even thinking of, but how great they are. And then I think of the leadership of the leadership. And I'm not here to introduce our mayor, but I think I'd be crazy not to take this opportunity to talk about our mayor. Over the last 5 years, I've become friends with him, and I'm not friends with him because he's the mayor. I'm friends with him because of the qualities that he possesses and represents. He probably wishes I wasn't saying this. I don't know where he's sitting, and I'm not going to look there because he'd probably shake his head at me. But I think of Mayor Nick as someone who's selfless, optimistic, humble. I think of him as a servant leader to our community. I think he leads by example. I think he leads with enthusiasm. I'll bet we see that again today when he gets up on stage. I made the comment to Steve Jensen when I came in, I always feel like I can fly when I leave this event. And that's because of the inspiration that I take from it for our city and our community. I think of Mayor Nick as character. And I'll use an example. A handful of months ago, we had a ribbon cutting a groundbreaking for our new YMCA that's being built here in our community. Many of you were probably there. There was a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of people, so it was pretty great, but it was really windy. And I'll never forget the moment that while someone was speaking and the wind was about to blow their papers away, our mayor stood up, walked over, and put his hands on the podium and held the paper. And to him, it was probably an act of just what you do. I don't know that I would have done it. And I think of the selflessness and the humility of a leader to get up and do that, and it just speaks to character. He'll challenge us today to reach higher. I would say the last several years, since that challenge was given, we've reached higher. And I know this next year in 2020, we're going to reach even higher under the leadership of our city and the residents of our city and the businesses of our city, all working together to make Marion even better. So with that, I guess up next is a video of some other folks that are going to talk about what they love about the city of Marion. And enjoy your day. Thank you.
Okay, I can introduce myself. My name is Larry Phelps. I've been living here 42 and a half years.
And I'm Paula Fields, and I've lived here for 32.
I'm Tara Whittle.
I'm Catherine Whittle.
And we moved to Marion about 3 years ago.
I am Molly Mulheron.
I'm Patrick Mulheron.
I'm Casey Mulheron.
Other than 6 years, I've lived here all my life.
My name is Julie Albert, and this is my husband.
I'm Travis Albert.
My name is Kennedy.
Can you tell them how old you are?
4.
How old are you, Remy?
Marion's always had an incredible supportive community no matter what. We have great job opportunities, super blessed. You can't go wrong with the school district either. Like Pat he loves where he's at, and we couldn't go wrong. I was very fortunate. I've taught for both school districts, and you just felt the love for the school district, for the kids. People come out to do things together.
It feels like a big enough community yet small. You know, that friendly neighborhood vibe where if I run out of milk, I can go next door and get some from my neighbor. So small community, but also having all the amenities that you need.
We always have a joke that when we're 90, we want to be able to get on our scooter and go to the restaurants and the grocery stores, and all those new things are going in right there. So it's going to be perfect.
There's just something for everyone. We love to go to the farmer's market. Right up the street, we actually walk and ride our bikes there.
We go to a splash pad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
And have picnics.
And we go to the park.
It is one of the safest places I can think of to live.
We ride our bikes around the trail a ton.
Thomas Park.
Oh man, that is your favorite park.
It's like a huge playground. It's so fun.
There's lots of activities going on, and we try to partake in a lot of them, and it's a lot of fun. Christmas in the park. We always manage the carriage rides.
Who brought you dance lessons?
Santa.
Santa. Did you tell Santa at the park that you wanted dance classes? Maybe an aspiring ballerina. Who knows?
I'm with the event planning committee, so I help out with the fireworks and fireflies.
That was a great event.
That was a great event. We never anticipated 5,000 people.
We were super excited. We've never seen our neighborhood come alive like it did on the 3rd. Every single person had a party. Everybody was outside. It had to be one of the most fun nights. So we were thrilled that Marion started doing that.
the heart of the people in Marion. It doesn't matter if it's the people in the schools, the business community, the public servants. They're just always willing to help.
Even coming back after 20 years I was gone, I still have a bunch of friends here, a bunch of people I know, and that's what's good, to come home and feel like you're welcome back in.
It's literally home for us. I almost didn't marry him because I didn't want to give up my job and leave Marion. It's a true statement. Had to promise we got to come home.
Thank you all for being here. Welcome. And thank you to Andy for those kind words. Thank you so much. It's hard to find a bigger advocate for Marion than Andy Strite. Really appreciate his tremendous role in the community. And Hy-Vee, the entire organization is an example of good corporate citizenship, and that has to do a lot with Andy in our community. So thank you. It's my great pleasure to make this presentation each year on behalf of our city council, our city staff, and all Marion residents. I told our staff this morning, this is really their show today. I'm just the lucky person that gets to stand up here and tell the story. So I'm grateful for Marion's voters for giving me that honor for another 4 years. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and Dawn Jones, who has put a lot of time into organizing this event. I know it takes a lot of time, and also want to acknowledge Amber Bissinger, who's on the city's side, our communications director. This might come as a shock to you, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and Amber gets to see that in full force around this time of year each year. She does a great job of putting together the annual reports at your table, the visuals that you're going to see today, making all the arrangements and working with Dawn to make this such a great event. So thank you to Amber. Please join me in thanking Amber and Dawn and the entire League of Women Voters. And I know all the elected officials were already mentioned. I'd like to welcome them personally and all our friends from the neighboring communities with whom we share a vision of making this region such an awesome place to live and do business. All of us together, thank you. I say this often, and it's worth repeating. The success of any community in the region is success for all of us. We maximize our potential as a region, and we serve the interests of people and businesses best when every corner of the region thrives. So we are grateful for you joining us today, celebrating our successes with us, and cheering for us just as we cheer for you. I'd like to welcome the City Council. I'm grateful for the voters endorsing the good work of this council and re-electing all 4 incumbents last November. It's been my honor to work with them. They're joined today by the City Manager, Lon Pluckon, and many of our city department heads and members of our team of 230 talented and hardworking city employees. These professionals reach higher every day by giving Marion residents excellent services, being responsive to their requests, and helping them enjoy an amazing quality of life. As our city grows and the workload and complexity of issues increase, we're also growing as a team, and we're growing up as a city. We're learning to be more effective and always finding ways to better how we do things. And I'm grateful to our council and staff for allowing me to lead and for building trust and a collaborative environment in our city organization that enabled us to accomplish so much. Please help me thank our council and city staff for all they do. And one council member deserves special recognition, Paul Draper, who at the very young age of 85 was re-elected for another 4 years, and we think is the oldest person to ever serve on our council. Quick story about Paul. I called him earlier this week, and he's a bit under the weather, and he said, I'm not going to be there on Thursday. I know it's going to be great, and will you just tell them that we're not Mayberry anymore? So there you have it in Paul Draper's own words. We're not Mayberry anymore. Finally, welcome to my family and my partners from Simmons Perrine, Moyer Bergman. Their tremendous support is what allows me to keep up with my responsibilities as mayor, along with my other full-time jobs as real estate attorney, husband, and dad. Okay, so now let's get down to business. As we embark on a new year, we're not just capping off a successful 2019. We'll get to 2019 in a bit, but I want to focus on this incredible decade that we had, a decade of growth and positive change in Marion. You all know what I'm talking about. A decade is not a very long time in the life and development of a city. And we've been moving so fast that we don't take the time to just stop and reflect on just how much we've come, how far we've come, and how much we've accomplished in this short period of time. There's no doubt that this incredible decade was transformative. There's no better word to describe it, and I think you'll agree. On the screen is an aerial photo. The areas in red are those where new development took place in just the last 10 years. It's pretty eye-opening. Growth occurred in all parts of the city, but especially to the north, where we're moving closer by the day to County Home Road, and to the east of Highway 13, where both commercial and residential development is taking off. And this growth, of course, requires more transportation infrastructure. So since 2010, we've made major investments in transportation by rebuilding and overlaying many miles of existing streets, adding 28 total miles of new streets that did not previously exist. 28 miles is the distance from Cedar Rapids to Iowa City. We constructed, reconstructed, and resurfaced a total of 54 miles of streets. About 30% of our current transportation grid was either newly built, completely reconstructed, or resurfaced in the last 10 years. You can all think of some major connectors we have today that didn't exist in 2010. Tower Terrace Road, Connection Boulevard, Irish Drive, South 31st, North 35th Street, Tama Street Extension, Partners Avenue, the new 6th Avenue, and 6 roundabouts. All were built in the last decade and now provide more convenient connections and safer travel throughout the city. In 2010, the city had a population of 34,768. The 2020 official census will reveal our current population, but by our best estimate, it's around 41,000. I personally think it's conservative, but even 41,000 is an 18% increase in 10 years. And are you ready for this? 56% increase since 2000. 56%. Among Iowa's 15 largest cities, Marion, at number 14, had the third highest growth rate overall and the highest growth rate outside of the Des Moines metro area. And there's more. Since 2010, we added around 1,000 households and saw commercial and industrial development take a major leap forward with significant projects in the Marion Enterprise Center, 3rd Street Industrial Area, Squaw Creek Crossing, Tower Terrace Road, Lincoln View Square, Highway 100 corridor, and the Central Corridor. The impact of this growth is reflected in the city's total valuation. Our total valuation increased by 46% from $2.16 billion in 2010 to $3.15 billion in 2019. That's almost $1 billion increase in valuation in 10 years. It grew 6.25% in just the last year alone. The growth in valuation is even more profound from the year 2000 through 2019, increasing nearly 200%. The fact that Marion experienced such significant growth in the last decade is only part of the story. How Marion grew and continues to grow should make us all very proud. As you saw in the video earlier, Marion residents love their town. They love life here, and they appreciate that our community is dreaming of bigger things and always reaching higher to better our city. We're proactively identifying the right opportunities for our town, asking everyone to give their best and incenting the development that adds value for residents and impacts their lives in positive ways. We're keenly focused on leveraging the benefits of growth to better serve people, strengthen community, and increase opportunities for all residents, giving them the quality of life they desire. We and our community partners delivered on that promise in major ways during the past decade. It's really incredible when you think about how many just public amenities and programs have been added in that time period. This is a short list I came up with, and I'm sure it's not all inclusive. Uptown Artway, Wallows Rock Park, the Butterfield Skate Park, 3 splash pads, the inclusive playground at Lau Park, the Klopfenstein Amphitheater, the sculpture trail at Lau Park, the Thomas Park Operations Facility and Community Safe Room, the fitness trail at Hannah Park, the Grant Wood Trail, the Marion Youth Center, Encore Cafe for seniors, Longfellow Elementary School, the new Vernon Middle School, Linn Stadium, Linn Aquatic Center, sports facilities at Lau Park, tennis and pickleball courts, the Marion Police Station, Prospect Meadows Sports Complex. Just soak that in for a bit. That's an amazing list, all of that in 10 years. And this is, I'm sure there are more things that I'm missing. And I'm certain that this list is not exhaustive, but consider how much the things on this list alone have elevated the manner in which residents are served every day and the additional opportunities they have to enjoy their lives and to meet all their goals. Add to that our other amenities, the core day-to-day services that residents receive, our excellent schools, and Marion's consistent record as one of Iowa's safest cities. It's no wonder that 9 out of 10 residents say they'd recommend Marion as a place to live, and 4 out of 5 residents say that Marion is the perfect place for them. The endorsement of residents is what matters most. So it's just icing on the cake when Marion gains visibility across the state and is recognized as one of the nation's best small cities. Marion's progress garnered significant attention across the region, the state, and nation in the last decade, earning the city such accolades as Family Circle magazine's top 10 cities for families, Iowa League of Cities All-Star Community for 2 consecutive years, Iowa Great Places designation twice, National Conference of Mayors list of top 20 most livable cities in America, the first city in the region and 13th in the nation to achieve Blue Zone certification, the state's first Iowa home-based community recipient, the first recipient of the Healthy Hometown Award from Iowa's Healthiest State Initiative, 6 Main Street Iowa Awards, and Wallet Hub's top 10% of America's best small cities. I think that deserves applause. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. Marion is currently experiencing what might be its greatest era of growth and development since its early rise as a railroad town and county seat. We're witnessing the city's transition from a town that for decades has been regarded as a sleepy bedroom community to a dynamic and vibrant urban center that is the 3rd largest city in the corridor and a key component of the regional equation, offering its best and doing its part in placemaking, economic development, workforce development, and quality of life to help the region thrive and make it an attractive place for people and businesses to locate. To me, the most profound achievement of the recent years, however, is the transformation of our community's outlook. It's important because it's foundational. Lifelong residents and more recent transplants are encouraged and excited about the forward momentum and the promising opportunities that lie ahead. They're connecting with their town in greater numbers and engaging in community life. They're being inspired to dream and offer ideas to help shape the future. Our town believes more in itself, its unlimited potential, and its bright future. And that is what's making all the difference. With each new project, you can sense the community pride growing. With each success, you can feel the momentum building. I feel it when people I've never met stop me on the street or in the grocery store to share their approval and excitement. I feel it when I see our many community events packed with people enjoying themselves. I feel it when I drive through a vibrant uptown buzzing with activity. And I feel it on social media when a person moving to Marion from another state asks for information and dozens upon dozens of people eagerly respond with a welcome and positive comments about their town. That's what makes me optimistic and gives me hope that Marion is on the right track. Now you're probably thinking, it can't all be positive, right? Well, I have to confess, the last decade wasn't all roses. There's just one thing. This was me 10 years ago. I guess time and stress have taken their toll, right? All right, so against this backdrop, let's take a look at some of the achievements of 2019 and what's ahead for 2020. Now, in my mind, 2019 was a major turning point, truly. In the past 2 decades, the main driver of Marion's growth was residential development with our ever-expanding sea of rooftops, and this is still going on, with 14 new residential developments currently under development. But the real star of the show in 2019 was commercial development. We have another video for you.
We've had over 50 new businesses open in the last year, which is an unprecedented number since I've been in my position.
We've had growth really across a lot of different sectors. One of the newer players on the scene is the Uptown Main Street District. Just this last year, we passed $20 million worth of investment in our Main Street District, and I credit them with leveraging a lot of state resources that have helped us achieve that.
We've had 4 new restaurants this last year, which is a 37% increase in the amount of restaurants in our district. So that's a huge boom in business, and it brings a lot of people down here during nights and weekends. People are coming for entertainment and food and shopping, and it's that real feeling that you get when you walk into a business with brick walls and original wood floors. And it's a whole different experience than when you walk into a mall. And so we're trying to preserve that experience for people when they come to Uptown.
Our central business district is the beating heart of the community. The dream that we've all had for so many years is to see Uptown healthy and growing and becoming a destination. And ultimately, that is very important for the future health of the community.
I would encourage anyone, if they haven't been to Uptown in a while, to come out, bring your friends, bring your family, support your neighbors, support your local businesses, and experience the historic district.
Prospect Meadows has been a major catalyst for growth in Marion. It's had a huge impact on economic development in our community. It had 450 traveling teams in its first season. It wasn't even a full season. They produced 5,000 hotel night stays in its inaugural year with millions of dollars of ancillary spending. They are projecting to double those numbers in 2020. So we are, I think, just seeing the tip of the iceberg of the impact that Prospect Meadows is going to have in Marion.
We've always been pretty successful in working with local retailers and local businesses to help them get started. We've now become more attractive to some of the national retailers and the national flags. And you have names like Starbucks starting to appear on buildings, and then you have national names like Marriott and Hilton showing up on current and future hotels. You know that Marion is really on the map for a lot of companies.
Because of all the great collaboration, we can accomplish things that normally are not accomplished by cities our size. We're able to do so much more because on every large project, the city is working hand in hand with the Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Company and the business community, and ultimately that serves the community well.
I think it's important to note that not every community has been as successful as we have in forging those partnerships and really maximizing them. Between all 3 organizations, we've been named a Main Street community, we've been named an Iowa Great Place. We have one of the premier shovel-ready business parks in the state. All 3 of them work collaboratively not only amongst themselves, but with us to make sure that the community can reach higher.
I'm just really proud to be part of this community, and other people are seeing that Marion is worth the investment.
For years, we made no secret about Marion's need to grow the commercial and industrial tax base and provide residents with more employment opportunities as well as convenient access to the services they desire close to home. For years, we've had consumer dollars leaving the community, nearly $20 million in annual restaurant business alone. Working with our economic development partners and the business community, we've focused on promoting the potential of Marion and helping people see that potential, building economic vitality and fostering a supportive environment to attract businesses of all sizes and allow them to thrive and succeed. I think we can all agree that we're starting to see results, and 2019 indeed marked a turning point. One big example of this is Marion's Central Corridor, of course. Early in the year, we celebrated the opening of the Town Place Suites Marriott Hotel. We now see 3 retail centers under construction near the hotel, with several new businesses already open and more on the way. The significance of this development goes beyond needed amenities in our town. The development validates the city's long-term strategic vision and significant public investment behind the Central Corridor project. In recent decades, this aging industrial area in the heart of our city was cited as a detractor. We have to see the photos to be reminded this is the area as it looked previously. And this is the area as it looks today. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? The transformation from industrial site to a business commercial hub is the heart of our community in the heart of our community has become a symbol of Marion's newfound potential. To the west of this roundabout, work is underway as another former industrial parcel is getting new life, with a 4-story multifamily residential project offering 54 units that will add affordable options for new rental housing, contributing positively to the curb appeal, increasing density, and further enhancing the vibrancy of the district. And at the west end of the central corridor, the Carriage Corner residential project will inject vital investment dollars in one of the city's oldest neighborhoods. The unique aspect of this development is that it will incorporate 2 historic brick homes built in the mid-1800s that will be relocated to the site from uptown. I'm proud of our City Council for seeing value in our town's older buildings, saving these homes from demolition and providing a financial incentive to see them given new life and preserved for future generations. And if you haven't been at the West End, there's another older brick home that has been beautifully renovated and turned into a restaurant by Annette Perry. You should check it out. At the core of the central business district, of course, is Uptown Marion. And who hasn't noticed what's going on in Uptown lately? Many of us used to dream of an Uptown that is alive with people and activity all the time, and not only during special events. 2019 seems to have been the turning point as Uptown is gaining momentum. With live music venues, live theater, restaurants, pubs, retail shops, and a host of other services, all anchored by the City Square and the award-winning Uptown Artway, Marion's historic city center has reinvented itself into an active hub and destination for Marion and beyond. Business owners now see the potential of this district, surrounded by neighborhoods within short walking distance, and more than 60,000 people living within a 3-mile drive. Since this small district affiliated with Main Street, Iowa in 2013, we've celebrated 89 business starts or expansions there. And this is only a few blocks. The district seems to have come to life, especially in the last year, welcoming 12 new businesses, including 4 restaurants that opened within about a 2-month period. Activity is strong on the east end of town as Squaw Creek Crossing will see the opening this year of a new commercial building housing 2 recently announced restaurants. And spring groundbreakings are anticipated for an 88-unit contemporary multifamily housing complex, as well as a 93-room Holiday Inn Express hotel. Nearby, Victory Sports Center has announced plans to construct a 19,000 square foot facility offering the region ninja warrior courses, rock climbing walls, and other indoor entertainment options. And last fall, Timberline Manufacturing moved its operations and 200 plus employees into a new 90,000 square foot facility on Blair's Ferry Road, with room to grow its business and its workforce right here in our region. Speedy Delivery began operations in its new regional distribution facility in the Marion Enterprise Center, and by the end of this month, U.S. Cellular will complete a $2 million renovation of its Armour Plaza Customer Care Center, one of 4 in the nation, and will add 100 employees at that site, bringing the total employment number to more than 250. Overall, in 2019, the Chamber of Commerce registered 59 new or expanding business starts. The Marion Economic Development Company supported projects in the community valued at $88 million and helped to create or retain 649 jobs. That's in 1 year compared to the total of $103 million in the prior 4 years combined. Metco currently has 35 potential projects representing up to $180 million in new investment. We could not do what we do as a city organization without the great collaborations and partnerships we have with the Chamber of Commerce and Metco. All of this positive activity, of course, was crowned by the May 23rd, 2019 opening of Prospect Meadows Sports Complex. While the true impact of this regional asset remains to be seen, projections for 2020 are that 1,000 travel teams and 100,000 people will visit the facility. 100,000 people, generating the need for 10,000 hotel rooms and millions in direct spending throughout the area. And just as important is the impact of this facility on area youth and their families. Local play games are expected to grow to more than 1,000 this year, allowing kids, including low-income and at-risk youth, to play in world-class facilities. And who can deny the life-changing impact on special needs kids and their volunteers who play on the Kiwanis Miracle Field? I had the pleasure of presenting the medals to the Miracle League athletes at the end of their season. The smiles on these kids' faces were incredibly heartwarming. Prospect Meadows is a shining example of what is possible when a community reaches higher with the right focus. That's the power of collaboration and the power of community. We could have some very exciting announcements soon about other activities and experiences that will be added to this amazing place, so stay tuned. I think you're going to like it. While Marion is currently on a positive track, we recognize that maintaining and strengthening our system of good governance is essential for the long-term success of our town. For the 10th consecutive year, strong fiscal management has earned the city the AA1 bond rating by Moody's Investor Service, placing Marion in an elite group of Iowa cities, with only 3 cities achieving a higher rating. And this rating allows us to borrow at lower rates and helps us accomplish more for our growing community. As the city grows, so do its needs and the demands of our departments. We're working smarter and becoming more strategic to better manage our workload, maximize efficiency and effectiveness, and utilize the public's resources responsibly. To that end, we hired our first budget manager and embarked on a robust strategic planning process to identify priorities that will inform and guide the work plans of the various city departments. The main points of the plan are included in the annual report at your tables. These priorities will be integrated into a 5-year capital improvements plan that identifies and prioritizes more than $135 million in capital projects and infrastructure needs. A part of governance is a participative environment, and we want and need Marion's residents to be engaged and fully informed. We keep in touch through our website, social media, newsletters to every home, and numerous public input sessions throughout the year. City council members are visible in the community and continue hosting weekly office hours at the library, at farmers markets, and various other venues where people are. Every day I see examples of our staff as accessible and eager to engage with residents, providing information and helping them solve issues. Residents also have opportunities to be part of the decision-making through numerous volunteer opportunities and more than 80 positions on city boards and commissions. We're also investing heavily in facilities, of course, facilities that we need to accommodate Marion's growth and remain a leader in delivering the high-quality services that residents have become accustomed to. We're currently building a new $11 million public service maintenance facility as the first component of our eco-industrial park. This 135,000 square foot building will be one of the largest geothermal facilities in Iowa, incorporating renewable energy systems to power operations. Upon its completion later this year, we plan to convert our entire fleet of vehicles to compressed natural gas, providing benefits for the environment and significant long-term cost savings for Marion's taxpayers. Work is finally underway on our 3rd fire station, this $9 million facility and new department headquarters that includes decontamination and training areas and biophilic design elements to improve the daily quality of life for the people who will work and live in this building. The location on Tower Terrace Road will help us lower response times and keep residents and their property safe. And work should finally proceed this year on the new Marion Public Library. Marion's library is the 6th busiest library in the state of Iowa, and we're in need of additional space to accommodate the educational needs of our fast-growing population and the increasing role of Marion's library as a community center. The library will remain at the city's core, where it can continue to provide important services that impact lives of so many residents of all ages and all socioeconomic levels. In transportation, the Marion Airport is receiving an expanded runway, new lighting, and other safety improvements with the help of a grant from the Iowa Department of Transportation. We recently acquired the final parcel for the completion of 6th Avenue. We heard about that earlier this week, and we hope to have it connected to the East End roundabout this year, paving the way for the long-awaited rebuilding of 7th Avenue and the uptown streetscape. And I'm happy to announce that earlier this month, Marion was awarded $1.14 million in DOT funds for needed intersection improvements at 31st Street and Highway 100, Echo Hill Road and Alburnett Road, and 35th Street and Highway 151. Now, economic vitality, good governance, and investment in public infrastructure are very important, but never an end in themselves. Everything we do is with a focus on fulfilling our most important mission, serving Marion's residents, and giving them what I like to call an unequaled quality of life. Let's watch our final video.
Quality of life matters here. It's neighbors taking care of neighbors. It's places for people to go and enjoy parks, and it's community events that bring people together.
Something that's been very important to me is that we not only focus on new amenities and shiny new buildings, but we're also serving the needs of people. And so over the past few years, we have increased programming for seniors. We've focused on homelessness. We've focused on youth. We have increased tremendously the amount of programming in the community that help people enjoy their daily quality of life.
This is the first year that we've had a part-time event coordinator. She took the lead on the fireworks and fireflies event that we held on the 3rd of July. The first year, it was an awesome success. I think it was the biggest event to date at Lau Park, and it just showed how much Marion was ready for something like this. All summer long, we hosted everything from tiny fairs to a dog fashion show to concert series in the Uptown Artway. The first year was a huge success. We're excited to build on it in the coming years.
Parks and Recreation departments in the quality of life business. We've had quite a few different amenities added. Had a grand opening for the Butterfield Skate Park. It was a brand new skate park, the first in the city of Marion. We take care of over 600 acres of green space parks. One of our major parks that we have is Lau Park, which is a 180-acre park that incorporates the Arts and Environment Center and has the Kloffenstein Amphitheater and the new inclusive playground that we just developed earlier this year.
Are you coming over here, Meredith?
Does incorporate board and rubber surface, so it's very accessible with wheelchairs, walkers. Kids of different abilities and skill levels are able to play and enjoy it together.
The Marion Youth Center is a Marion community initiative that provides programming, after-school care, and meals for grades 5 through 6 for students who are in the Linn and Marion and St. Joe schools. Within the Youth Center, it's exciting because we're able to really build on those community connections that we've cultivated. Marion Cares comes in to do programming. The library does outreach programming. Homework help is a big one too. I love this program especially because not only is it an opportunity for the Youth Center participants themselves, but also high schoolers who come in to volunteer are given that sense of ownership, purpose, and identity. The way kids talk about the Youth Center is it's their home away from home. It's their people. This is their living room. This is their basement. This is their second family. There has been so much growth and energy and excitement in this first year and a half of the Marion Youth Coalition, but we're hungry. We're not done. There's still work to be done and there's still changes ready to be made. So feel free to join the charge.
We like to say that in Marion, the sky is not the limit. A lot of people work very hard every day in Marion to make that a reality and to give people the opportunities to enjoy an unequaled quality of life. And that's what makes Marion a great place to raise a family and grow a business.
Twenty 2019 gave Marion residents even more reasons to love their town. In late August, we, as you heard, inaugurated the inclusive playground at Lau Park. The playground is for people of all abilities and all ages. Even kids in business suits are able to play on it. And there's always something for Marion's furry residents to enjoy. Earlier in the year, the city celebrated the opening of its first skate park. Okay, you're not going to believe who was the first in line to use it. After cutting the ribbon, we were all amazed as former mayors Kloffenstein and Wren showed us how it's done. And the big highlight of 2019 was the groundbreaking on the new regional YMCA, the largest in the region. Marion's $7.3 million investment in the project answered the community's call for a fitness and rec facility and paves the way for a one-of-a-kind partnership with the Y on sports and rec programming. While construction is in process, a community fundraising campaign is also in full swing, and we're asking for the public's help in naming the facility. We want the name to appropriately reflect the partnership between the Y and the city. So look for information on the city's Facebook page and website, and please give us your ideas. Also in 2019, we added a mountain bike trail at Boyson Park, outdoor fitness equipment at Hannah Park, and planted more than 24 new acres in our commitment to prairie pollinator habitat. Free community programming soared with 11 new community events last year, from Independence Day fireworks to outdoor concerts, festivals and movies, tiny fairs, and dog fashion show. Marion was alive with family-friendly events and ample opportunities for residents and visitors to experience community and enjoy arts, entertainment, and the magic of Marion. And we're not slowing down. This year, the Seymour Trail will see progress with the removal of the bridge over 7th Avenue in preparation for its replacement with an artistic pedestrian bridge and community gateway feature that is currently being designed. We'll move our Imagine Next community visioning projects forward with a feasibility study for a potential aquatics center and design of a new Uptown Plaza project with the help of a recently announced $155,000 grant from Iowa Great Places. Friends, I hope you agree that this is truly an exciting time for Marion, and a lot has happened in the past year and the last decade. The best part is that while we're experiencing a lot of change, there's one thing that has remained the same, and that is the wonderful people who call Marion home. The hallmark of Marion as a standout community has always been and will continue to be its people. People such as those involved with Encore Cafe, which served more than 10,000 meals to seniors in the first full year. It's volunteers who logged nearly 1,300 hours last year in caring for the historic Oakshade Cemetery, or the people who lead and participate in the Marion Youth Coalition, or the city employees and community partners who form the Homelessness Task Force. Many of the things that enrich our lives and make Marion a great place to live are done by volunteers and are born out of a genuine caring, love of community, and concern for the well-being of others. Marion seems to have no shortage of such people who see the unity in community and work every day to make a positive impact on the lives of others and ultimately make Marion the wonderful town that it is. One such individual is Ann Freeman, who called one day and just wanted to talk about issues of concern to seniors. She arranged for me to speak to residents in her senior living community. I later found out that for several years she'd organized Christmas parties for them, complete with donated food and gifts for each resident. She's so concerned about serving the needs of people who live in that community. She even offered to be my campaign manager. I have to say, Ann is the spunkiest 96-year-old I've ever met. And Lyle Lochner. Lyle is a mail carrier who took the time each day to deliver an elderly resident's mail to her door. Each day he took time to stop in, hand her the mail in person, and make sure she was okay. On December 30th, Lyle found her unconscious on her kitchen floor. He called 911. She was transported to the hospital. While she was there, he followed up to check on her condition. Although she didn't make it out of the hospital, Lyle's intervention gave her family the time to gather and see her before she passed away. Pat Vanderzee, the founder and leader of Cakes from the Heart, a nonprofit organization of more than 30 volunteers who make cakes for kids, elderly, and anyone who wouldn't otherwise have a cake to celebrate birthdays and special occasions. Their stated mission is to help disadvantaged kids and seniors in our community celebrate their special day and let them know that they matter. How cool is that? That's what community is all about. And there's Peter Camp. Peter's with us today. He's a high school sophomore. At the age of 13, he was still in 8th grade. Peter wrote a business plan and founded a nonprofit organization called STEAM On. In his words, STEAM On's goal is to provide invaluable experiential science, technology, engineering, art, and math learning opportunities for students in grades K through 12. Now in its 3rd year, the organization is growing quickly, providing opportunities for hundreds of kids in the region. 16 years old and running a successful nonprofit. Impressive young man. And these are just 4 examples. There are hundreds of others just like them, people doing extraordinary things and impacting lives in lasting ways each and every day. And collectively, all of their selfless acts combine to bind us together and define the soul of our community. You see, it's the power of community that's brought us this far. It's the power of community that allows us to reach higher, move Marion forward, and deliver on our promise to make it the best place to raise a family and grow a business. Marion made tremendous progress in the last decade, and what we do with the next decade is completely up to us. I say this each year, the sky is truly not the limit. I have no doubt that if we continue our focus on serving people, if we see the best in each other and work together with a common purpose, if we harness the power of community and achieve our true potential, we will have a city that is positive, forward-looking, inclusive, welcoming, and thriving, a city where all people feel valued and have the best opportunities to enjoy their lives and achieve their personal goals, whether in business or in life. Thank you. God bless.